Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Hidden Heroes Veterans Caregiver and Aging Well series. This morning, we have Jane Dorfner, a Veteran Service Officer from the Veterans, to provide veterans resources and updates from the Veterans Assistance Commission of McHenry County. We're so lucky to have Jane here today to provide that information.
My name is Jane Dorfner. I'm a Veteran Service Officer at Veterans Assistance Commission of McHenry County. We are located in the Administration Building in Woodstock at 667 Ware Road. Our phone number is 815-334-4229. We are north of the courthouse, right across the street, same side as 47, same side of Route 47. Next. So, to tell you a little bit about what we do here in our office. I'm a County Veteran Service Officer. I am trained and accredited by the Veterans Administration to prepare, process, and prosecute claims. Say that 10 times fast. We are county employees that are paid by taxpayer dollars. We receive no compensation or gifts for our services. We work with the VA, not for them. So we can be true advocates for our veterans and their dependents. Next. Once you come into our office, we create a file for you here. We are not seeing that we do not work for the VA. We have to have a file here for you. So there's some things that we would need, like the Veterans DD-214, Notice of Discharge, same thing. Photo IDs and Social Security numbers for the veteran and their dependents. Marriage certificate. Any prior marriage or divorce information, and death certificate of the veteran or the veteran's spouse. We create the file, and then we can start talking about doing some paperwork. Next. One thing we do in our office, this is a county Veterans Assistance program that we do. It's not with the VA. It's financial assistance for those veterans that need financial help paying their rent, mortgage, or utilities. To be eligible, you have to be an honorably discharged veteran or surviving spouse of an honorably discharged veteran. You have to have served a certain amount of time. So service prior to September 8th, 1980, you have to have served at least 181 days. Or after, if you went in after September 7th, 1980, you have to have served 24 consecutive months. You have to be a resident of McHenry County. And then once we accomplish that, we look at your income, your rent, mortgage, your utility bills, gas, trash, water, electric, internet, phone, and we use a worksheet, enter all your current information, and then we let the worksheet decide, after it does its calculations, what you're eligible for. If there is an amount there, then the veteran or the surviving spouse will determine where they would like that money applied. That money would go directly to the vendor, to the gas company, electric company, the landlord, mortgage company, whichever the case may be. This program is available every 30 days. So all you have to do is call, set up another appointment, and we go through the whole process again with your new current bills, your new current bank statement, current income, and we can do this until you no longer need us. Along with this program, we also may offer referrals to other organizations like the Housing Authority to apply for LIHEAP, which is a program that helps you with your electric and gas bill. Maybe over to consumer credit counseling. Maybe you need some help with bankruptcy or just some financial counseling. While we're also doing this, we could also learn that maybe there's some claims or VA paperwork that we could do, which we will talk about here in the next couple slides. Next. So one of the VA programs that you may be interested in is a financial need-based pension. This is a benefit from the VA that is given to veterans that served honorably during time of combat. Didn't have to be in combat, just during that era of combat. You have to be over 65 and under $138,450 to apply. So if you've checked yes to all of those, then we can go on with the paperwork. The paperwork consists of reporting your income, household income, everything you're using for the year to help pay those bills and get through. So that would be Social Security, pensions, IRA drawdown, taking interest or dividends from your stocks or bank accounts. All of that is considered income. Then we look at your medical expenses. We report all medical expenses. So that could be Medicare, your medical insurance premiums, dental, vision premiums. If you have prescription drug insurance, those premiums. If you have a caregiver, prescriptions, doctor, dentist, vision copays, hearing aids, glasses, anything you've paid for during the year. And I'm not sure if I mentioned caregiver and or assisted living, nursing home, all of those are considered medical expenses. So we report your income, your medical expenses, all your net worth, your assets, not counting your house or a car. Unless you are not living in your house and you're renting it, then that rent becomes income, which we would also have to declare. So once the VA gets all of that information, they will look at, there's a certain amount they believe a veteran can live on during the year. They take the income, take away your medical expenses, and if that amount falls under the threshold of what they feel a veteran can live on, they will make that up. They will take that difference and make it up to you in monthly payments through the year. Divide it by 12 and you'll get that for the month. So that amount can be anywhere for a veteran, anywhere from $0 to $1,900 a month, ballpark. If a veteran is married, it could be anywhere from 0 to, I believe, $2,300 a month, ballpark. Same process as for the surviving spouse. It just has a different name for the program. And the surviving spouse's amount of benefit is less. I believe the maximum a surviving spouse can get is close to $1,200 a month, ballpark. Anywhere from 0 to $1,200. This is a tax-free benefit and only changes when the income or the medical expenses change. And then we can report that and maybe get you an increase to maximize your benefit. Next, there's 3 levels to that pension for both the non-service connected pension and the death pension, widow's pension, survivor's pension. There's quite a few different names for the surviving spouse pension. Standard benefit is for anyone that's like over 65. They're doing fine. They just have high medical, low income, that they can get out and about on their own, and they're living at home, no caregiver or anything. The next level is what we call homebound. This benefit is for someone that's either, you can be at home or in a facility, an assisted living, independent living. Maybe you have a caregiver come in a couple hours here and there. They help with showering, medication, daily living tasks. You're not really cooking, but Meals on Wheels can come to the door and you can answer it and feed yourself. But you do need some help, maybe getting out to your doctor appointments or to the grocery store. So someone has to drive you there. That's kind of the criteria for homebound. If maybe you have to be in a facility for your own safety, because it's just not a good idea for you to live in that big house all by yourself. Those are kind of the things that we look at for homebound. Aid and attendance, that's pretty much what this pension is known by a lot of people. I get a lot of calls saying, I need aid and attendance. This is more for the person that needs more 24/7 care. Maybe you're still living at home, but you have a caregiver come in and they're there 24/7. You need more medical help, more you're maybe a fall risk, or maybe you're needing memory care, stuff like that. That with each level, the cost goes up incredibly. So the benefit for the pension goes up as well. So we always send a form to the doctor so that he or she can fill that out to help back us up with what we're claiming for. We always try to go for the highest level, of course, but sometimes those doctor reports and stuff tell us different, but we always go for the best. Let the VA tell us something else, which we could always argue anyway, but so next. Dependent and indemnity compensation is a different benefit for the surviving spouse. This benefit, I should say surviving spouse or minor children. The benefit is for the spouse if the veteran died of a service-related condition. This would be, say there was the veteran was a Vietnam veteran, was presumed to have been exposed to Agent Orange and had a heart-related condition because of that, and then died from that condition. This surviving spouse is eligible for what we call DIC. It's a set amount benefit regardless of how service-connected the veteran was. Could be 40% disabled, could have been 100% disabled. It's the same amount for each spouse. Her financial status is not a factor. It's the true benefit is if he died from something from service. This is something that we still have to do paperwork for. VA loves paper. And so we would just get together and do the forms and submit it. Along with this benefit comes health care that the VA will pay for. It's a civilian health care called CHAMP VA. And if you're on Medicare, you could use that as your supplement. We don't give advice on medical insurance because everyone is different, but we do say just compare what you currently have and the CHAMP VA packet that you get and see if it's a good fit for you. This benefit is better than the previous benefit, the survivor's pension that we talked about, because, well, compensation is higher, and you don't have to worry about your finances. This benefit is for the surviving spouse until forever or until they remarry, if they do. Next. We also offer transportation, rides to and from Lovell Federal Health Care Center, also known as North Chicago, for their doctor appointments. This benefit is for McHenry County veterans, and it's through our department. No charge for this service. Actually, there's no charge for any of our services. We have 4 pickup points. One in Crystal Lake at the Burger King, right down the road from Country Donuts. 2 in McHenry. One in the Green Street parking lot, municipal parking lot, right behind Green Street Cafe, off of Green Street and 120. The other is on the east side of the river at the McHenry VFW, right off 120. The last one is in Woodstock at the train depot. Every one of them offers free parking, and which makes it more convenient. We also work with Senior Services and Senior Care Volunteer Network, and our townships PACE to help get our veterans to the pickup points and back if they cannot get there on their own. Again, that, if I'm not mistaken, most of them are free services, but it's worth a call to find out. We operate Monday through Friday. We have the first bus van, and the one that we use the most, gets to the hospital at 8 a.m. and leaves no later than noon. The second van, if needed, arrives at 10 a.m. and leaves no later than 2 p.m. So what happens is we pick you up at the pickup points. We go straight to the hospital. You go straight to your appointments once we get there. And when your appointment is done, or noon, when your appointment is done, actually, you go back to where you were dropped off, and they will bring you back to the pickup point. There's no charge for the service. And I know there was something else I was going to tell you about this, but we have, since COVID, kind of opened up our service a little more to help people to get to McHenry CBOC. CBOC stands for Community-Based Outpatient Clinic. So we can also try to help you get there if you cannot get there. Also, Senior Services and Senior Care Volunteer Network also can help you get to other doctor appointments, private doctor appointments. Maybe you're on dialysis and you need to go often. We work with them to help you get to those types of private doctor appointments during the week. So it's be good to call us and them to see how we all can help in this area of service. Next. So, Caregiver Assistance Relief. This is one program that we came up with here in our office. After interviewing many veterans and their families, we realized that there was maybe a gap in service. A lot of family members are kind of just thrown into this caregiving position because of an unexpected illness or injury. So there's so much to learn in a time that's so crazy for you that it kind of takes over the life of the caregiver, helping the veteran. Or the veteran maybe is helping the spouse. With the VA healthcare, the veteran is eligible if the veteran is in VA healthcare, they're eligible for up to 15 hours a week caregiver help on the VA dime, so to speak. If it's the veteran that is, maybe the veteran needs more than 15 hours and the spouse is filling that gap of, because they just don't feel they can afford to pay for a caregiver. This can get overwhelming for that caregiver. They start neglecting their own needs. They start neglecting going to the doctor for their own visits, neglecting, they're not going out with their friends, or because they don't want to leave the veteran alone. They don't, they go to the grocery store and the anxiety is off the charts because they got to get through that store so they can get home to the person that needs the care, because they're so worried about leaving them home alone. This helps get that caregiver help so that that person can go do those things more comfortably and maybe get a break. It's a program that's similar for the criteria of the pension that the VA offers. The difference is this program is for McHenry County residents. The caregiver has to be a family member, such as the spouse or their child, and they have to have their household income has to fall on, and assets, net worth, has to be under $138,450. This does not count your home or car as the pension does. The pension doesn't count a house or a car either. I think I forgot to mention that. But the only difference with this is we do not look at Social Security retirement income in that $138,450. We only look at if you were getting SSI, SSDI. Those two forms of Social Security we do look at, but not your regular Social Security retirement income. And we offer this program. We do it kind of like financial assistance. We'll do a worksheet, and then whatever that amount is, we will help pay for a caregiver. We work with, and this is every 91 days that this program is available. And we work with ElderWorks. They'll come and interview you, see what your needs are, see how they can help. And then we together pay that, find you a caregiver and pay them for those, whatever you are eligible for. This is a pilot program that we started in 2020, right before COVID. So it did take off, but of course not as well as we'd like, but hopefully we'll get some more phone calls and be able to help some more people fill those gaps so that everyone can be happy and live longer for years to come. I think next. So this is just kind of a little cheat sheet for everyone. Gives you an idea, again, of what we do in our office. One of the VA claims things that I didn't mention was the service-connected compensation. That is for veterans that had something happen to them in service, whether it's hearing loss, an injury, something that is presumed to have happened, like illness from Agent Orange or the burn pits. All those things we file claims for. Being service connected is kind of like being in civilian life as workman's comp. Something happened to you on the job while you're in service that you are still suffering with. It's a chronic problem. And these are compensation for that. All compensation from the VA is tax-free, and we help with all that paperwork. So we're trained to do that. We don't advise you doing it on your own. Um, it's something we love to do, and we love to help. So we also, don't forget, we have the transportation, financial assistance, our Caregiver Relief Veterans Assistance, and anything else that we can do. We try. If we can't help you, we try to find someone that can. We don't have any legal service in our office, so that's one thing we cannot help with is VA legal, but we'll find somebody that can. I appreciate your time, and please call us if you have any, to set up an appointment. And I guess we're open for any questions right now. Thanks. Hi, can you hear me?
Hi, Jane.
I don't know why my camera's not working.
All right, well, we will get that fixed shortly. I am just blown away with your presentation today and how many great resources
Thank you. I
are.
was so nervous. I was hopping all over the place.
Oh, you know what? I have 2 pages of notes and I was having a hard time keeping track of my notes. So with all of these different resources that are out there, I have a couple of questions. I mean,
Okay.
there are so many things out there for a veteran or the spouse. What is the best way for them to figure out where they actually fit with any of these resources?
I'd say just call our office. We're open to talking to everybody and making sure that there isn't a veteran or a family member that is missing out on any benefits that they could possibly get. Oh, there we are.
Hi, Mike. Thanks, Mike. So the next question I have for you is, we were talking about the different pensions, and you had mentioned a dollar amount for they needed to be below that dollar amount. And we had a question that came up that we couldn't get that dollar amount. Could you share that again?
So the veteran, the VA wants to know all their assets, net worth, income. So what we do is we report all their net worth, which would be not counting their house or car. We look at their bank accounts, checking, savings, if they have IRAs, mutual funds, stocks, bonds, anything that they have that's considered a liquid asset. Then we take that total, combine it with their household income, which could be their pensions from working, Social Security, if they're doing an IRA drawdown, anything they're using to supplement that daily living, through the year. So we add that income and their net worth together, and it has to be under $138,450 a year. That amount will change every year; it goes up. So that's what it is this year. If they are honorably discharged, served during time of combat, not in combat necessarily, just during that era, and are under 138,450, they are then eligible to apply for the benefit. When we apply, we report that net worth, we report that income, and in addition, we report all their out-of-pocket unreimbursed medical expenses. Those could be their Medicare supplement premiums, their Medicare premiums, their supplement private medical insurance supplement premiums, if they have a drug plan that they pay for, vision plan, any of those medical insurance premiums, and any of their bills, doctor, dentist, vision copays, prescriptions for the year, if they have a caregiver, what they're paying that caregiver. If they're in a facility, like a nursing home, independent living, assisted living, um, we report that income. For the independent or assisted living to be counted as a medical expense, not just room and board, they have to be getting help with 2 to 3 daily living tests, such as
Okay.
medications, dressing, bathing. Maybe they're a fall risk. Maybe they have memory care issues. They need to be there for their own safety, and the doctor will write a statement saying that they need to be there for their own safety. Those are the reasons that would qualify for a medical expense. They can be in a facility and have a caregiver. Those both are considered medical expenses as long as the doctor says they're in that facility for their own safety, that they shouldn't be home alone, things like that. They could live in their home and have a caregiver. That caregiver is a medical expense. All those medical expenses, we report, and it's kind of like doing your taxes. We give the figures to the VA. They don't want all the receipts. They don't want all the EOBs, all of that. But I always say, as with the IRS, keep your folder so that you're
Yep.
prepared to answer any questions or give any proof if the VA inquires. They take that medical, they take um, your income and take away those medical expenses. um, if you fall under the threshold of what the VA feels that you can live on, they will make that up over a 12-month period. Um, they'll take that amount divided by 12, and that's what you'll get monthly. There is a cap to what they'll give you, and with each level of pension, the cap is a little higher because the medical expenses are higher. So we submit everything and let the VA work their magic. And this is a benefit that you could get as long as you need it, unless something changes. Maybe your income changes because you sold your home, and it kicked you back out. It kicked you out because now you're above the 138, 450. That doesn't mean the door is closed. It's once you're back under that amount, you can reapply. Maybe you had an inheritance from a family member or something. Again, kicked you out. Same thing. Or you're not getting the maximum for that benefit, and you've moved from assisted living into the higher level, maybe into the
Okay.
nursing home level of care, and your expenses went up. We would then go in and ask for an increase, and again, we'd have to report everything all over again. um, it's a lot of work. It's sometimes overwhelming, but it's worth it, and we help guide you through the whole process.
Okay. So there are a couple additional questions that that came across to us. Um, is there, from the time they meet with you and do the paperwork and it gets submitted to the VA, how soon will they know if they're going to get that benefit? And has that changed with our little bit of a global pandemic that has been going on?
Well, the pandemic really slowed things down for the VA because they have to verify service, which they do with the National Archives in St. Louis, and they were totally shut down. No one was working during the pandemic. They just recently reopened about a month or two ago. So that made things really difficult. But uh, it can take anywhere from 6 months to a year, depending. But the thing is with that is, from the day the VA gets your claim, it locks in that data claim. So no matter how long it takes the VA to work it, once they make a decision, the award goes back to that data claim. So you'll get what we call a retro check, a retro payment, a back payment for that time that they were working on the claim. And then from then on, then the payment would come the first of the month.
Okay. All right. Um, at the very beginning of your presentation, you had listed a bunch of documents that individuals need to come in.
Yep.
Um,
That's paper.
yeah, so some of those documents I know our veterans and their families have, but some of them they don't. So how do they get their hands on those documents?
So we can help them. We would order those through that National Archives from St. Louis. Um, and they, they would send that to us then, and then we would forward in the claim.
Okay.
While we're gathering evidence, the VA has created a form called the intent to file. So that tells the VA, all we have to do is send in that intent to file, and that tells the VA we are gathering evidence so we can have a fully developed claim when we process it or when we submit it, and that holds that data claim. So um, it locks it in, just like if we sent in the fully developed claim without that. And so we're not really losing time or money there either. We
Oh,
have a
that's good
year.
to know.
Yeah, we have a year to submit all the evidence, um, or that intent to file expires. So it's a pretty generous thing that the VA has come out with to help alleviate their duty to assist, to find out if there's more evidence to submit, and give you that data claim while we're trying to gather all the evidence. So,
That's good.
mhm.
So if we have a veteran who has some memory loss and they hadn't started anything with the VA, and they come to you at the VAC of McHenry County, and it's the spouse, does she need certain paperwork to be able to help? And what do you need from the veteran and the spouse who's going to be the one that knows all the finances and all of that? How does that work? Could you take us through that a little bit?
There's a lot of times the spouse or the children of the spouse and the veteran come in to help do this paperwork. It's pretty overwhelming. So basically, we need the veteran's discharge, the DD 214, a marriage certificate, uh, if the and all their financial information, medical information, expenses, um, their social security numbers, and then we start working on the paperwork.
But
They,
you'll work with the spouse if the
yes,
veteran,
yes,
okay, or the children.
yes,
There isn't any special requirement to have a power of attorney
no,
or to do any of that.
no, and the VA doesn't recognize civilian power of attorney, even though that's
Yep.
given to you by a judge. That you know they're in their own little world. So the more cases than not, they won't recognize that. During COVID, they kind of lightened up a little bit because we couldn't get into the nursing homes for signatures from the veteran or the surviving spouse. Um, they did allow us to send in that power of attorney paperwork and have whoever, the child in most cases, had that, and they were uh, processing the paperwork. As time goes on, I see that tightening back up again. So, but we always do submit it. If there's no way to get the veteran's signature, um, we will submit it and hope the VA will accept it. Uh, they have their own, what they call fiduciary. So if they feel, once they've made the decision on the claim, if they feel the veteran or surviving spouse cannot handle their own finances because of being what they call incompetent, which I think is kind of harsh, but that's what they call it, um, they will do that same kind of process of getting the power of attorney through the fiduciary for that person. So,
And they can, I believe we discussed this earlier in an earlier session that we did, that the fiduciary could be approved as a loved one as that fiduciary, but then there are also private fiduciaries as well.
yes, and if there isn't anyone, say the veteran is all alone, no children, no family, the VA can help provide a fiduciary for
Okay.
them as well. So
If it's a guardianship case, there is a state guardian for a veteran. Does that guardian, does the VA look at the guardian like they would the power of attorney? So it
yes,
doesn't matter?
I
Okay.
believe they would. Yes.
Okay. All right. Um, Gosh, there's so much information, and what you and Mike and everybody at the VIC of McHenry County does is just amazing to help our veterans. They very much deserve everything you are providing and assisting. So we do appreciate that, and I know ElderWorks very much enjoys partnering with you. Um, there was a question regarding caregiving hours at home for a veteran. We started talking about 15 hours a week, but if there was more needed, could you expound on that one more time?
So if the veteran is registered with VA healthcare, the VA will provide up to 15 hours of caregiving. Um, if the veteran needs more, then it's on the veteran to pay for that. Um, that's where we kind of came in with our caregiver relief program, because most of the time that more comes from the spouse. They don't feel they have the finances to pay for additional caregiving. Caregiving can be very expensive. $20, $30 an hour. It can add up very quickly and deplete their um, retirement funds. So we came up with this because the spouse, we just kept seeing that they were neglecting themselves and they were ending up getting sicker. We talk about them being in side by side hospital beds because they weren't taking care of themselves. And so it was overwhelming. So we came up with this plan, and we do it. It's kind of like our financial assistance plan. We put in all their income and expenses, and we see how much they're eligible for. This is a program that's offered to them. Our financial assistance is every 30 days, but our caregiver program is every 91 days. So every 91 days, and we work with ElderWorks. They go and interview the veteran and see their needs and help us fit a caregiver with them that is licensed. And then we pay that caregiver directly, not to the veteran or the spouse, directly to the caregiver. And they once we do the worksheet and see how much they're eligible for, it could be up to $1,000, I believe, for 90 days. And then that spouse, the caregiver, whichever, um, can determine how they want to use those funds, whether they want someone to come in, um, maybe every week, so many hours, or uh, if maybe they know they're having an upcoming knee surgery or something, and they'll be at the hospital and in rehab and all that for so many days. They can use that money for that, or it's there to relieve them so that they can take care of themselves, get some peace of mind, go to the grocery store without anxiety of getting home as quick as possible, things like that, that just take away some of that stress and help stretch their money out so it lasts longer for them.
Thank you for re-explaining that.
Yes, it's complicated, and I just like to confirm that that's our program. It's not a federal, it's not VA.
It's specific to McHenry
and
County.
that's why it's only eligible to McHenry County residents.
Okay. It looks like we have a couple of questions that have popped up, and so let's get to a couple of those. There we go. Oh,
Thanks, Mike.
so Jane, you have been an incredible resource in McHenry County for over 14 years. And so Mike just wants to wish you best of luck.
Thank you. I will miss this. a lot.
You're very good at what you do, and the veterans have been very fortunate in their families to have you help in McHenry County. Our second question comes from Lynn, and she's wondering if it's okay for us to share the slides from today's presentation with her.
Certainly.
Perfect.
Yeah,
So,
if you have anybody, please have them call our office. If we can't help the veteran or their family, we find somebody that can. So there's just so many things that a veteran and their family need help with, and we're happy to help.
And I just want to say thank you to you for taking the time to help us with this presentation. While ElderWorks covers all of Illinois, McHenry County is where we started, and it's our privilege to be able to serve these veterans.
It is.
So if anybody has any questions, they certainly can contact the Veterans Assistance Commission of McHenry County directly, or you can reach out to us here at ElderWorks, and we will help you find those connections as well.
And we help any veteran. It doesn't have to be a McHenry County resident. We get calls from all over. I've got veterans in California and out east, and we've had them over in Japan and France. But so I advise to call our office if you don't want to work, don't want to commute to our office or work via email and phone and all that. We will try to find a veteran service officer closer to your home.
And I recently saw an article, as recent as the last couple of days, that said Illinois is one of the top 4 states for veteran support across the nation. And I think you and the VAC of McHenry County and the VACs across the state are a key reason for that. The support you guys provide is amazing.
Thank you.
All right.
It's our privilege.
Thank you very much, Jane, for coming today and being able to share your knowledge. And with that, we will sign off, and we look forward to working with all our veterans in the future.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You as well.